Alright, we're back. We are in the 560 turboed. Now, sorry about the cutoff early in the last video. I was going to try and get to this in the previous video, but we're in our 560 turboed on a 4-bottom plow. Like I said before, this tractor is a 5-bottom plow rated tractor. And this one specifically, because this one with the turbo is now rated for at 73 horsepower, I believe. So, anyway, good lord. Anyway, sorry for that. Group chat's blowing up. Anyway, so this tractor's now rated for 73 horsepower with a turbo on it, which is probably another reason why the freaking transmissions blew up on these things. Again, like I said before, that transmission was built for a 4-cylinder tractor, not a 6. So it worked good in the 460, which, if I remember correctly, let me stop this here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 4-cylinder tractor. 4-cylinder engine. No, it was a 6-cylinder. It just had less horsepower. So, yeah, it was the 460 is a 6-cylinder. I was wrong. Anyway, it worked on the 460 because the 460 was only rated for like 50 horse, and that's what the Farmall M was rated for. So it worked perfectly. Didn't supply enough power to break the transmission. Even with the magic screwdriver, I think that downfalled the transmission in the 462. But the biggest problem was in the freaking 560. So IH recalled Farmall at the time recalled the 560, built all new transmissions, and that is believed to have what kind of led to their downfall was all the money they had to put into building those new transmissions. So, yeah. That cost IH a lot of money. Now, turbos weren't really a big thing, I don't think, back in the 50s yet. I think they were still kind of new. You still had naturally aspirated diesel engines. So, this really isn't period correct, but the tractor itself is period correct, so. We're going with that. I needed a little more power for this plow anyways. The other one wasn't able to pull it too good. as none of these tractors had a locking differential. So if the wheel started slipping, you just grabbed the brake pedal and held the brake on the slipping wheel until the other wheel grabbed. Or if you were slipping too bad and you couldn't grab traction at all, you just raised your implement up. Now, this tractor, along with the 100 series and the 150 series, as I'll refer to as the X50 series, had what International Harvester called the fast hitch. As you can see, this has a 3-point. Well, that's not quite accurate. The fast hitch was a 2-point system. As you can see, this plow is only hooked into 2 arms. It was just lifted off the 2 lower linkages there. And it was a good system. Worked pretty good. But when they came to, and I believe it was the 06 series of tractors, they started putting 3 points on. Well, they still left the fast hitch for all the guys that had the fast hitch system on their previous tractors, so that way they didn't have to sell all the implements they had for it. They could keep the implements and just buy the tractor, saving money. In hindsight, yeah, I'm not supposed to turn that tight. Go. This is where it gets fun. Last pass. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The fast hitch system worked really well. It was the first. Ford and Ferguson already had the 3-point hitch system, but because it was patented and the patent was still pending and hadn't expired yet, International Harvester and Deere had to come up with their own 3-point system. Deere had a weird one on their Model 60 tractors. It was a weird system. Alice Chalmers even had a type of 3-point system. None of them were true 3 points though. They were all like 1 lift arm or 2 lift arms like on the Internationals. Once International came up with the 06 series, they made an option kit for the 560s and the 300s and the 350s, or the 100 series and the X50 series, for a 3-point, because they made fast hitch coupler 3-point arms. So all you had to do for the if you had a tractor with straight fast hitch, was throw in those arms for the 3-point and mount the top link bar, and you had a 3-point system. The reason IH was able to make that work is because of a thing called draft control. They put it, unlike Ford Ferguson, who put it on their top link, IH and all the other manufacturers, including Oliver and Deere, and I believe Alice too, did this. Yeah, and Minneapolis Moline as well. They all put their draft control on their lower linkages, which worked, but you could only use a specific brand of plow with a specific brand of tractor. So like IH, I can use this type of, I can use a John Deere plow on an IH tractor, because John Deere was and IH and Oliver all manufactured their 3 points to have draft control on the lower linkages. So you had a 2-point semi-mounted plow, which is what this is. Massey Ferguson had the draft control on the top link, so you had to buy a Massey Ferguson type plow. And I may have covered this in a previous video, and I know another guy I follow has done it, but the plow Massey Ferguson had an A-frame off this lower link hookup right here, and then you hook the top link up. So it's still a semi-mount plow, because a mounted plow wouldn't have this raisable land wheel back here. So it's still semi-mount, but you had to hook to the full 3-point, so you couldn't use deer plow on a Massey Ferguson, otherwise you wouldn't have draft control. And what draft control does is allows you to let your implement basically float on the 3-point. Whereas if you don't use draft control, your implement's in the ground and it stays in the ground. So if you hit a hard spot in the ground with a plow on the ground, it's gonna go. You're gonna have to pull right through it or raise all the way up. Whereas if you have draft control, what I said earlier. Without draft control, you go over a rise in the ground, your plow doesn't follow the tractor, so the front of your plow is going to come up, so you have to make the adjustment manual. Like I said before, draft control is basically a float for your 3-point. And if you start losing traction, that draft control is going to adjust automatically. If your front wheel starts coming up off the ground, your draft control is going to lift your arm's going to go up because it's in a float type position. So there's nothing keeping those arms in the ground, they're just floating there. It's just the weight of the plow dragging through the ground that's holding it down. But anyway, when you go over a rise in the ground with draft control, your plow follows with you, so the front of your plow is going to stay at the same depth. Whereas with standard 3-point, your plow does not stay at the same depth. Wrong house. Your plow, the front of your plow will go up and then go down once you get over the hill. Possibly dig deeper once it goes back down. So, that was one of the great inventions that came out of the Ford Ferguson system. He's doing pretty good over here. She is, I should say. Let's go check on her Tab 560, and he's doing good. He's about done as well, which is awesome. So, good time to stop. We'll take that in and refill it. Take the drill in, refill them when we're done. But anyway, guys, that's all for this video. So these videos will be uploaded separately, as I don't have the time to edit tonight, and I want to get these up tonight. So thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.